Christ, my tongue is burning. This week's Koufuku Graffiti kinda snuck up on me. I didn't even realize it was coming out, and it just so happened that tonight I had a very small dinner, so I was still pretty hungry. I saw that there was a new episode, and I was like, hell yeah, let's grab a bite. So I didn't want to go out and buy food because I, had already eaten some, didn't want to go get something big, and I'm sick of every fast food place because I eat too much fast food. But all we had at home was ramen, so I decided to make some ramen. Now, a lot of people look down on ramen because it's super cheap, and if you've had enough of it, you're completely fucking sick of it, especially if you've ever been broke. However, I think ramen is still pretty good because you can mix stuff into it, and it is a great retainer for spicy stuff. You can just pour infinite amounts of sriracha in there and it'll always taste good. So I got some ramen and I cut up some ham and put it in there. Pretty much any meat will go okay in ramen, but what's special about putting ham in there, especially because I'm talking about like a cooked ham that we had for dinner the night before, is that in the movie Ponyo, which is my favorite anime movie, Ponyo loves ham. And there's one scene where what's his name? Sosuke? Sosuke, his mom puts a bunch of ham in their ramen and they eat it, and it's adorable. So I put some ham in my ramen, as well as a bunch of onion, because I love onion, and a shitload of chili sauce, and then some sriracha for good measure, because the chili sauce, for whatever reason, is not nearly as spicy as the sriracha. I expected it to be spicier, but it was not. Fun fact, until about 2 years ago, I could not handle spicy food at all. Like, growing up, I'd never been able to eat it. I just never really bothered, never gave it a try. I was that guy who, everything I ate, I was like, oh my god, it's so spicy, and everyone else would go, dude, it's not even spicy at all. And I would get so mad, because I'm like, how are you going to tell me what is or isn't spicy? But then I decided, the reason that people can eat spicy food is because they've been doing it since they were a kid, So I thought, well, if I train myself, I'll be able to eat it. So I started training, and at first I was just putting like, a little bit of Texas Pete would be enough to be spicy, or like the fire sauce at Taco Bell would be enough to be spicy. And I trained my way up, eating spicier and spicier food until, at some point, suddenly Texas Pete wasn't spicy anymore. And then I moved up, and then I started eating sriracha a lot because I really love pho, and sriracha is always on hand at pho restaurants, or pho, however you want to pronounce it. And so I got used to the sriracha, which was it's like one of the spicier things you can even get at a usual grocery store. And got used to the taste of sriracha, and now I can go out and eat Thai food and shit, and I've gotten to be pretty high level at spicy. Not as high as, like, ghost pepper level, but I can do some pretty spicy foods. And I'm pretty proud of myself for making that progression. And now I love spicy food. Like, I'll go out of my way to get it, because it's exciting and it makes your taste buds tingly. So I'm watching Koufuku Graffiti, although I had assumed, because the episode was out, that it would be out on Crunchyroll, because ordinarily Crunchyroll stuff is out like an hour after the episode airs. And I pay for Crunchyroll, so I get the no ads, the immediate experience. And I go on there and it's not there, and I've got this cooked ramen sitting in front of me, like ready to watch the episode, so I have to go torrent it. And here's me waiting for my torrent. And then I watched it, and at first my ramen, it was pretty tasty. I kept adding more sriracha to it to make it spicier, and then eventually it got spicy, and it became much more difficult to eat and to watch at the same time. The episode itself was pretty fun. The first thing I thought was, oh, it's that moment when, in every Shaft show, There's that moment when you realize the production values were too good to be true, because Shaft is infamous for super inconsistent animation in their shows. And what they tend to do is blow all of their money on like the first episode or two and have like those look incredible, and then the rest of the show just looks like painfully inconsistent. And so we've sort of reached that point. It's not unwatchably bad, but it's very consistently off model. And what's great about Shaft is they will usually fix this stuff for the Blu-ray release. It's usually attributed to the fact that they are just understaffed and, again, blow all their money on the first episode or all their time. This episode definitely was a victim of that. It was also a more relaxed, sort of comedic episode. Well, I say more relaxed, but there was actually more happening. I mean, it was less dramatic in the sense of the characters having all these big realizations about each other and stuff. It was more of them just hanging out. I feel like Purple and Yellow are on a sort of wavelength together where they both feel very similarly about Red. By the way, I don't remember any of their names. I'm sorry. But they're on this wavelength where they're like, oh my god, this girl can cook so good. I'm going to hang out with her all the time and be best pals. But they handle it in very different ways, where Purple comes at it with this very childlike perspective and Yellow is more mature, but I think they'll all be good friends together. I don't remember if the first 2 episodes had the same ending video, because this one had a great ending video and I don't remember seeing it before. But I will say this, my favorite part of every episode of this show is the next episode preview song. The or whatever. It's fucking adorable. I would download the soundtrack to this show just to get that ending part. It's fucking awesome. Anyways, I enjoyed it. The food I ate was okay. I didn't feel as miserable as I did in the last 2 episodes. I got to be nice and weeby, the one Japanese food, it's the quote-unquote Japanese food that I would actually know how to make for myself. And, of course, as always, the food in the show was gorgeous. Oh, it's worth mentioning as well, it's funny that the food gets the most attention to, like, always look good. And it's funny because in most Shaft shows, the food will usually be live-action photos of food. Like, if you watch Hidamari's sketch, then, or Panty Pony Dash, like, all the food is always, like, photographs that are in the show. And in this one, they actually put a lot of effort into drawing the food. It's just an interesting thing. So that's all for this week, and I'll see you in the next one.